Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Guy Atchley.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. The trial of David Nick Delich was scheduled to begin next month. Prosecutors were going to seek the death penalty in the murder of Tucson police officer Eric Height.
But a plea deal reached today makes all of that moot. And with the deal, the long road to justice for a wife left without a husband and a community left without a devoted public servant is nearing an end. It all began on the morning of June 1st, 2008 on the northwest side near Shannon and Cortero Farms. That's where Delich kicked off a crosstown shooting spree by shooting up 2 homes in the area. Fortunately, nobody was hurt there, but Delich was just beginning. He took off and a sheriff's deputy picked up the chase near Ina and Oracle. Delich fired again, hit the deputy in the shoulder, and again drove off heading east. It was at Tanque Verde and Tomahawk where the shooting spree would take a deadly turn when Delich confronted a Tucson police officer. He shot Officer Eric Height in the head in what was described at the time as an ambush. Height was flown to the hospital and put on life support. He died the next day. After shooting Height, Delich was on the move again, driving up Mount Lemmon on the Catalina Highway. The 20-plus mile chase finally came to an end at Molino Basin, where Delich shot another deputy, grazing his scalp, and ultimately surrendered. In the years since, there have been motions and competency hearings all building up to a trial. But that all ended this afternoon with the plea, and it was an emotional turn for Delich's victims. Members of Officer Height's family, law enforcement, and others were in the courtroom as it happened. 9 on Your Side's Kevin Keene was also there and talked to them afterwards. Kevin joins us live from where Officer Height was mortally wounded.
Hi, Guy. I'm here off Tanque Verde on Tomahawk Trail, and this is where there's been a memorial all those years in the area where back in 2008, Nick Delich shot and killed the officer. As you can see here, there's a picture of Officer Eric Height, some flowers, and also a plaque that says Officer Eric Height was killed in the line of duty near this location June 2nd, 2008. Now, Delich continued on, as you said, and more victims followed. This afternoon, some semblance of closure for those victims, including the officer's wife.
Noemi Height wears the memory of her late husband around her neck.
I see your necklace there.
Yeah.
What does it say?
His name and his badge number in Psalms 23 in the back. And the day that everything happened.
June 1st, 2008, when David Delich shot and killed Officer Eric Height. Friday afternoon, an emotional step toward closure.
I'm happy that I'm not going to be away from my daughter in a very long, exhausting trial and reliving everything, hearing everything again, exactly what happened that day. Also happy for the safety of myself, my family, in this community, that by the hand of Nick Delich, nothing like this will ever happen, especially to an officer.
Height is satisfied Delich pleaded guilty to the murder of her husband, and not, as he did for other charges, guilty except insane.
I do believe that he has some mental illness, but at the same time, all of us are responsible for our acts.
It was very important for our agency to hear that he accepted full responsibility and he was guilty, and there was no element of insanity for the situation involving Officer Height. We are part of the family of the Heights.
The Pima County Attorney's Office says other victims in the 08 rampage share the feeling.
We talked to all of the victims involved about the various potential outcomes at trial, the risks of taking the case to trial, and collectively the victims and we decided that this was a fair and appropriate offer.
And for Delich?
I think it's good for him. He's going to get the help that he needs. As you know, all the doctors really thought that he's a psychotic person and he needs mental help, and he'll get that hopefully at the Arizona State Hospital.
Now, Mrs. Height tells me she looks forward to the next court proceeding, and that's at the end of April. Well, Delich will be sentenced. She'll have the opportunity, and she says she'll take that opportunity to make a statement about the actions, about the impact that his actions have had on her life and on her family's life. Live from the east side, Kevin Keene, KGUN on Your Side.
The people in the courtroom today, how did they react?
As you said, there were Tucson police officers, including the chief and members of the family. Everyone knew ahead of time the plea that Delich was going to be making, so the moment that it became official, there was very little reaction.
Thank you, Kevin.